Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark, and we're back for the news hour on this March 16th or 17th, if you're listening to the audio version or the YouTube version. Happy St. Paddy's Day to you out there. Hopefully you didn't drink too much this weekend, or if you did, you thankfully called off from work today. Or if you're not in that kind of tradition celebrating, you've gotten your corned beef and cabbage out, or ham and cabbage, or whatever Irish way you want to do it. Eating your Irish potatoes, or whatever. But the main thing that March 17th means is that we are about 2.5 weeks away from the Switch 2 Direct. Just realized that today, and I can't believe it's almost here. So we'll finally get to see if I'm going to be a day one purchase or not, depending on price and what they're going to put out for it. So, yep, April 2nd is about 2.5 weeks away. So, kind of crazy. But in the meantime, we got a lot of video games that we're going to be playing between now and then and in the future. So let me just catch you up on what I've been playing. So if you watched last Monday, the level 8-3 on Adventure Island might be the toughest level I've ever played in video games, and because I didn't play Battletoads much, and if you want to say the bomb sequence in the Turtles 1, I played that, but not as recently as this. I did a really good gimmick, I thought, for that stream where I wore a sweatband and put on eye black to beat that jump sequence. You can either watch me torture myself for 25 minutes, or you can go watch the YouTube short of my actual successful attempt. So we did beat that game. The ending is so dissatisfying. I am glad to finally never have to play that video game again. My curiosity is completely gone with that game. We were so close to possibly needing to figure out a way for me to cheat my way through that jump when I hit about the 20-minute mark and going, I am not. And then just right before it, I think it was like minute 21 or 22 when I was editing it, where I just went, I think I'm close. And then literally the next jump, I did it. And I will say, I'm glad I was kind of spoiled that the flame at the end of the jump was fake, or else that would have made me way more nervous and I probably would have failed. But finding out that spoiler actually helped and made it a little less scary once I did complete it. But it didn't. The bat right before it is fucking crazy, and all of that. So I'm glad that I'm done with that Nintendo property. And as people are saying in the chat, good discussion going about Switch 2 that I mentioned. It looks like Night Duck and Vince are going to be day one purchasers, and I agree with Night Duck. If there's 1 or 2 games that I absolutely want to play on Switch 2 that I need to play, I will be a day one purchase as well. So we'll have to wait and see. That'll be probably plan ahead, Tom. I probably would like to do that as a watch along. If it's a Tuesday, I think it's a Wednesday. So we maybe need to do that Thursday or Wednesday or something. But we will definitely watch that together. We'll try our best to avoid spoilers, but that might not be the case there. But yeah, done with that. We have not decided on the next game yet. So tonight is just going to be a palate cleanser I'm going to play a randomizer, Link to the Past randomizer. Don't know if I'm going to beat it. Probably not, because they usually take 2 to 3 hours for me. But it's just going to be sort of a chill. We'll talk about, the hell that was Adventure Island. We'll talk about throw ideas out for games in the future. Just chit chat as I play through that game there. So that'll be for Monday. So look forward to that. The other game on streaming I am streaming Avowed at the moment, and I love Avowed. Um, the the magic, the wizard part feels good. It's kind of hard in games, I've noticed, um, to make wizard not feel like the hardest class to play. So far, I am doing well with it. I'm dying in some cases because I'm not paying attention to my health, or I'm dodging into geometry and getting stuck, and some guy with a big ass axe is killing me. But I think I'm leveling up the spells well. Um, Sort of learning the stuff. I'm level 9, so I'll be getting a new set of spells, or new, like, be able to get the new book, next level. I have fine equipment, fine armor, fine wand, fine book. So I'm doing good. I'm getting into an area where the next level is all for sale. So I might need to upgrade to that stuff. But either way, the upgrade tree is great. I'm loving the battle system. I'm a distance battler. My skill level should probably make me sword and shield, in that you can do it in a way to hide behind a shield and sort of hit with your big damage weapon. But I like to dodge more than I like to just sit behind a shield, because I don't think I'm good enough with the timing and parrying and all that stuff to actually be effective with a shield. So yeah, I like my spells. I like my wand. I upgraded the stun stuff, so it now hits more than one person. And I sort of got my companions, knowing what they want to do. The one holds people in place so that I can throw a fireball at them. Or I can hold them in place and use them as like the lightning rod for the lightning attack, to bounce around to like 5 or 6 people. So really using in tandem. Yeah. So I would, yeah. If you have Game Pass, I don't know if you have Game Pass, Vince. It's worth a shot there. If not, if you're not 100%, I'm sure it'll be on sale at some point. You can pick it up and try it when it's not full price. So if you do pick it up and don't like it, you don't feel like you paid too much for it. But Avowed is sort of right up my alley. It's what I wanted Outer Worlds to be, in terms of I have a villain that I dislike, in Ludwin. I have companions I like and enjoy their company. 2 things I did not have in Outer Worlds. So I'm glad that that came to fruition here. I made a choice when I was searching for a certain someone. I'm trying not to spoil things, but I made a choice to be forgiving. So we'll see how that plays out for me. I'm on my way to the second area. By looking at the amount of equipment stuff, already getting 3rd level equipment, I'm thinking that, there's not going to be many. I think there's maybe, I'm probably a third of the way through the game, I would imagine, at this point. Unless they give you top level equipment halfway through, and then it's just figuring out stuff from there. But it's really well done. I highly recommend it if you have a Game Pass. If you like Obsidian stuff, I would go ahead and get it as well. But if you're on the fence like Vince is, you can always wait for a sale to check it out. I'm sure Summer Games Fest time they'll put it on sale or something. So, yeah, that's that. The favorite game I'm streaming now is obviously Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter. I am so glad that Tom introduced that game to me as a game to stream, all the way back during the pandemic in 2020, because I am in love with the series. I really love the combat system, the turn-based combat system for it. The characters are very, very interesting, and they each have their own personality. Like, nobody seems like they're just 2 of the same character, or nobody's really boring. The only one that comes close is Chloe, who's basically the, a princess in disguise sort of trope thing. She's a little boring, but I think it's because we're going to learn a lot about her in this. Um, One, because she's currently in our party for longer than she was in the first game. Um, Sheer and Olivier still horny as ever and have some of the best dialogue moments in the game. And yeah, it's just a really well done game, and I say for anybody that really loves turn-based RPGs, it's got to be on your list to play, 100%. It is one of those games that does everything right without having too much of the I know it's not a word, but like the stuck-upness sort of that Final Fantasy sometimes gets with its systems. As much as I love Final Fantasy, this is a much more simpler, like, kind of works with the characters and not just a combat system for combat system's sake. And the upgrade, the orbital system for your thing, pretentiousness, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. That Final Fantasy tends to have with its stuff. The orbital system is just a version of the materia system for the most part, but is much easier to decipher for me, and they seem to do a good job of making you understand what things you should have. Like that was the big thing that happened to me at the end of Trails in the Sky 1, first chapter, I guess they're calling it now. Is that I didn't realize I needed to get this one skill that would make it easier with bosses. Just because everything else had sort of been handed to me as I went, like, oh, I leveled up this got, okay, now this thing helps with these guys. But I didn't look at the defense, and that was the thing I overlooked, and I'm seeing it so much more now. Like, now I'm kind of just running through things because I imported my save, so I think I'm a little over-leveled. Right now, things are slowly catching up to me in terms of being able to kill me pretty easily. Special bosses and things like that. But all the regular enemies, I'm usually don't have to use magic 90% of the time. But, yeah, it makes you focus on defense a little bit more, or understanding area of like all materia stuff for Final Fantasy VII people. To put like the protect, or they have a thing called Earth Wall, which is the thing I'm talking about from my first playthrough, which puts a buff on all of your characters that allows them to take one hit without damage. And for the final boss of the game, he has this like one-hit kill that he randomly does. So I was just putting Earthwall up and then attacking. He would do his thing, and I would cast Earthwall again just to make sure everybody got it, and go from there. So much more thinking about defense. I don't know the last time I really cared about using Shell and Protect in a Final Fantasy game. I think 13 I did it a bunch, but that's just because that's just the way that combat worked. That you needed somebody to do that stuff while you were doing other things. But yeah, that's what I really like about it. The only weird thing is that we are doing a lot of the same areas that we did in the first game. This game takes place right after the end of the first game, so that makes a ton of sense. I think we're going to be going to a couple of different continents. I think we're going to do in this one, so we might get some new things after the second chapter here, or second chapter of the game, not second chapter of the game. It's I'm very, very happy with it. I wish I could play it every day, but I will restrict it to playing for you guys on Saturday, just because we're going to be playing other big games the other days of the week. Because we're definitely playing Clair Obscura, Expedition 33, and then Death Stranding 2 when that comes out. So we'll have to restrict Trails to Saturday. I very much feel like Trails is the turn-based RPG version of Tales is the action RPG sort of thing. It's not very much an action. There's still sort of an active time battle situation, but you know, if you love any kind of RPG, these two need to be on there. But I feel Trails is a lot more welcoming to first timers. So, and yeah, that's about all I've been playing. I mean, in my off time, I've been playing NHL 25 just because I got back into hockey after the Four Nations tournament. So loving it, loving the offense. The defense is still confounding to me, where sometimes puck physics just make no sense. But outside of that, I love the new system where it can tell you who's ready to shoot a one-timer, who's open, like just sort of little indicators on the player, so you're not guessing where to throw it, because of your perspective isn't like first person seeing the ice, you're above it, so having a little indicator of this guy's actually open is helpful and has been really good. So that's replaced NCAA essentially, because I'll probably pick that back up in the summer before the next one comes out. But yeah, that's about all I've been playing. Just got a bunch of games coming up. We had Atomfall coming up on the 28th for should I stream it on Friday? Then we have, I think, the next week or 2 weeks would be South of Midnight. And then I think Clair Obscura comes out in April. And then Doom is May. And then Death Stranding 2 is March. And Tony Hawk is July. And Trails in the Sky first chapter with voice acting is sometime coming up. And then we have Metal Gear Delta. There's going to be a lot of games coming up to play that I'm going to try and stream some of them for you, just so you get some newer games on the channel as well. All right, that'll about do it. Let's go over to the news. And first up here, I don't know why that hasn't. There we go. Full next-gen Xbox reportedly set for 2027. Xbox branded gaming handheld due out later in 2025. So very simple. They announced basically Windows Central reported that they partnered for a PC gaming handheld codenamed Keenan, which is in the works to come out the end of this year. Basically a successor to like the thing he was talking about, Phil Spencer. I forget. I should have taken notes. But and on top of that, they're doing a successor to the X and the S. That's about a year out from now, or 2 years out from now. But it looks like the main thing from that I saw with this is that besides partnering with somebody and not making it like in-house, they can probably get it out a little quicker, because somebody that has had the experience making handhelds before will probably get it out quicker than maybe the hardware people inside Microsoft that have no experience doing that. And it looks like they're going to try and make like a handheld version of Windows, which could very much make this like, could you get Steam on here? Would Steam give you Steam? Like, all the possibilities out there of all the things that Phil Spencer talks about, not having, barriers between games and systems anymore. So they're looking to try and do a lot of that. Who knows if that'll ever come about. But I think very much, just like Steam, I think Microsoft has the, they're bringing back Windows 8. Yeah. That's true. But, my thought was very much like Steam. Xbox and Microsoft are very much set up to have the handheld thing work, in the sense that you can just throw, if you get a strong enough hardware, kind of like what Steam Deck is, they have Game Pass, they have PC Game Pass that can just go on there and have a ton of games on there, and not have to worry about people needing to purchase games and stuff like that. You can just offer PC Game Pass with it, and then people will buy this and have it, and that's how you make the transition there. But it'll be interesting to see if they try and get like a Steam OS or maybe the Epic Game Store or something available to be played on there, to just give it something to make it different out there. But yeah, and I think the idea that the next Xbox Series X, like the next home console coming out in 2027, is about right. 6-7 years is basically what a normal console generation is. All things considered, we just had really long ones recently because of the midway point with the pros in PS4 and Xbox One. So those stretched out for like 8-9 years instead. So the 2027 number, while shocked some people that I saw, it's not really a shock to me. This lines up with every other new release of hardware that we've had. So, yeah. One thing, Microsoft's always got to be, on their toes in sort of this stuff, because Sony just eats their lunch a lot with hardware recently, ever since 360. So, they need to find some way back in, and maybe they're trying to use the handheld to get into the Japanese market. Who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what, this looks like going forward. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about GOG. I'm seeing it in there. You can do GOG, and then you can have backwards compatibility and just, whole bunch of things that you can do with this. But it'll be interesting to see if they do get a handheld. I'm imagining if they do announce it, it'll probably be at Summer Games Fest time. So probably look out there, unless they announce it on their own in like May. But I could see them waiting for that time of year so that people can get their hands on it and all that stuff. All right, moving on. As you may know, March 10th is Mario Day. So the announcements, while it's a lot of stuff in here that's probably already done, like sweepstakes and stuff, I just want to bring up a couple things here. The first being that the Super Mario Brothers 2 movie will come out next year, if you were looking forward to that. The Nintendo Switch Online has official Donkey Kong and Mario Picross game for the Game Boy. If you're into Lego, the Mario Kart set, which I'll play the thing here, we'll mute, is coming out on May 15th. So, if you're into Lego and you're into Mario, you get to build your own Mario Kart. So there are also sweepstakes, which I did log in for. Oh yeah, that Lego thing is $170, and it's a 1,900, almost 2,000 piece kit. So yeah. I don't know when this ended, but if you go to your My Nintendo website, you can sign up for it. JetBlue turned their planes into Mario for a little bit. Yeah, they, I don't know if the sales are still on, but some select Mario titles were on sale. And then, people were showing off their favorite Mario stuff. Here, I'll scroll past through do that stuff here. But yeah, March 10th, Mario Day. Hey, Goat. How you doing? It's a good joke, Jonathan. Super Mario Bros. 2 movie is just a reskin Japanese movie. That's a good joke. It's real good. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what they actually do with the second movie. I think you could, if you wanted to, you could do like an MCU thing and have a Nintendo Cinematic Universe and just start making individual like Donkey Kong movies and stuff like that. But yeah. So happy Mario Day to you guys, which would have been last Monday at this point. So yeah. Hey, Farm Sim. We're doing good. We're just here going through the news right now. Talking about Mario Day. So, next up, um, analysts talking about the Switch 2 will sell loads of them despite the price. Predictions are it'll launch about $400, which sounds about right. I would be surprised if they went to $5. I think 450 might be the top, but who knows with the tariffs and stuff. But there is going to be a new Mario Kart. We know for sure. There's probably a new 3D Mario game coming. Metroid Prime 4. And Civ 7 might be coming at some point because of the mouse integration. EA is putting their sports games on there. So essentially, we'll like I said, we'll find out in a few weeks here. But yeah, it's looking to be around that 400 price range, which I wouldn't be surprised by. But yeah, backwards compatibility, additions. I just can't wait for that. But we're getting closer and closer to the date to see what exactly is true here. So, yeah, we'll be talking a lot more Switch 2 coming up. Next up, God of War Ragnarok celebrates the 20 years of God of War, and Christ, it just makes me old. By an update next week that figures in-game equipment themed after one of the franchise's most iconic outfits. So the Dark Odyssey features the clean black and gold look that Kratos had in that game there. But so here's everything you get. The Dark Odyssey Kratos appearance, Dark Odyssey armor set for Kratos, breastplate, bracers, belt, Dark Odyssey companion armor for the boy and Freya, weapons, the Leviathan axe and knob, have the Dark Odyssey stuff, one with the Blades of Chaos and the spear, and then all of your shields most likely will have that stuff too. So if you're really into God of War, and have been for the past 20 years, you can go, and I feel the same way, Goat. 20 years is insane. You can, it'll arrive on March 20th, so that would be Thursday. If you're watching this live, or when it releases on Monday. So be sure to go pick up your stuff. Re-download Ragnarok, because I'm sure you still don't have it downloaded if you've beaten it, because of how big games are nowadays. But yeah, go pick up your free shit on Thursday. Moving on, Split Fiction hit 2 million sales in a week, which is kind of crazy. So the basically, I just wanted to point this out because this is even crazy number because they have the friend pass, which means that even if you were playing with a friend, this isn't like people buying 2 copies to be able to play together. You only have to buy 1 copy to play together. So getting the 2 million is insane for this game. I'm still going to work it out with Jen to see if at some point, whether it's later this year or next year, we play through this together. Because we did the previous game, It Takes Two, for the channel. And I don't know if we moved that to YouTube or not. But yeah, we had a great time with it. And I would love to play through this game as well, just to hear her maybe complain about the fantasy setting. That would be fun. But yeah, this is an insane number, and I say good on it. Whether it's an average game or a great game, I want more variety in the types of games out there, and Hazelight tends to give us something that a lot of other places are not giving us. The ability to play co-op with friends, without having to buy 2 copies. Maybe these numbers help them keep doing that. So, yeah. If you haven't played it yet, go out there and find a friend and see if you can play through it. Speaking of sales numbers, Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters hit 5 million sales, which pushes the entire franchise up over 200 million sold as a group of games. So the Pixel Remaster sold 3 million copies back in September 2023. And it took them another 18 months to sell the next 2, but 5 million is a good number. I don't know if Square Enix will be happy with 5 million, but I think they for an old game, that are basically just based off nostalgia, hitting this number is pretty good. But you never know with Square. Next up, EA announced there will be microtransactions on Skate. So, when's that Tony Hawk game come out? Yeah, that's about all I got to say about this. It's just microtransactions. It's just, I don't know what you would do. I don't know if they'll pull back on it after the early access. Obviously, microtransaction stuff for me is, thank you, Tom. I was being slightly sarcastic, but thank you for letting us know. July 11th. I think if the microtransactions, I think we all have the same feeling, and I don't want to talk to everybody for everyone in chat. But I hope that the idea that microtransactions are only good in the idea of when they are just cosmetic. Like, they do not affect gameplay. Like, if you want to sell a bunch of skate shirts and different boards to just look cool, but they don't affect how the game plays, fine. Go ahead and do that. But if you're going to sell, like, better wheels and all that stuff. It's just, I have to see what they're selling here, before I go too crazy. I did make the joke about, that this makes me want to think when the Tony Hawk game comes out. But hopefully the people have learned their lesson and don't make stupid microtransactions, on here. So. And by the way, Skate's still coming out. I'm assuming because of the Tony Hawk stuff coming out, EA went, wait. We have a game too, guys. Remember you guys did all that #Skate4 stuff on social media back in the day? Remember you guys did that? Well, we're still making the game. Just don't. I know Tony Hawk's coming out, and I know they put out both of their games before our game came out. But remember, we're still coming out. We're gonna be doing an alpha test soon, and then we're gonna have a release date. So just remember, EA's still doing Skate here. Remember us, guys. That's very much what this felt like. So moving on. This is the dumbest thing I've seen all week. I very much feel like there's not a photo. I very much feel like those of us that are old enough, it's 100% true. EA's going to fuck it up. So this story is, for those of you audio listeners, there's a leaked video from Sony using Aloy from Horizon to be like AI powered that you could have a conversation with. And for those of us that are old enough, and I think that's everyone in the chat right now, remembers Milo and Seaman. And we've been through this before, and it's just as dumb now as it was then, because doing this is weird. I don't know why. Maybe I'm older. Maybe the younger kids are into this, but I don't know why you would want to have a conversation with a fictional character in a video game. I don't get it. At least with the Seaman stuff, I think it was like part of the game a little bit, but like that was the game. Was that the conversation? Taking an already established character, because you don't know how to talk to girls. Night Duck, shh. I told you that in private. So, taking over the established character and then giving it AI stuff, which would be the most awkward conversations ever. Only if you can give me the winning lotto number. Yeah, true. If the AI can somehow make me rich by my conversation with it, I'm all in. But it's just weird. I think the only way an AI chat thing works, or a game like this, is if you build it from the ground up and it's not a recognizable character. Like, that the character is made for that. Like, it's not Aloy, it's not Kratos, it's not Doom Guy, it's not, it's not like any of those, like, known characters. I think it could work. But, yeah. Oh. Damn it, I revealed myself on stream again. No. I get it now. I shouldn't have assumed, Night Duck. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, I don't get it. If you're going to do something like this, build it from the ground up. Give me like a Seaman thing or something, like I said. That the game is built around you needing to interact with the character in that kind of way. Maybe it's in the sickest way, maybe it's a dating sim. In the best way, maybe you and the character like trying to solve a crime or figure out a puzzle or something that you would need to talk to each other. Could be cool. The crime thing, like a Phoenix Wright type of idea, could be fun. But yeah, nothing like talking to an established character is where I'm like, nah, I don't need to have a conversation with Solid Snake. I don't need it. But yeah, so this was crazy. It made me laugh. And AI's here to stay and is getting dumber and dumber every time they come out with something. And finally, this is kind of like, I guess, video game, but also I kept it to last here. I don't know if this game ever got announced. So if you do know if this got announced, I couldn't find word of it anywhere. But Travis Willingham of Critical Role fame and, stuff. Confirmed that they're Critical Role video game any day. I'm assuming the thing about this is just using the world of Alexandria, you could make a great RPG game. Like, don't have any the Critical Role things in it, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't need to have the Mighty Nine or, Vox Machina or Hell's Bells or whatever the third one is called. You don't need to have them characters in the game or any characters to that instance. So, I don't think you need to do that. I think you can just do, just use the world. I have the Alexandria book here that Matt Mercer put out, that I did get him to sign at New York Comic Con, which is one of my favorite signatures. And I basically built half of I built a campaign that we did called Stranger Damies that you can check out on your podcast services. It's still up there. I pay every year to keep the archive up. I basically built a world inside Exandria, where I did use some of the characters as reference points, you know, but 90% of it was just me taking that world from that book and just putting a story in it. And in some ways, I don't even think, I think the closest I came was, Jen really loved, the shameless plug, the for when did we end that? Like 4 years ago at this point. Yeah, so it's one of the things I'm most proud of that I've ever done, while being a person on the internet. So I will shamelessly plug that thing any chance I get. I really love the story I wrote for that. But yeah, I think I might have mentioned, her Ashari character, and their people and stuff like that. But I just, yeah, very much. I agree with you. Avowed has very much gotten me into hoping this game's good. But yeah, I stopped being a Critical Role person about halfway through Season 2? Yeah, about halfway through Season 2. I couldn't do it anymore. But and also because I was writing stuff and, as well. So, yeah, very much if you could just put a game in that world and have no mention of Vox Machina in it. But they're not. You're gonna be able to run into those characters and or play as those characters because that's where their money's at. Me and Night Duck are the minority that would play a game set in Exandria, that did not mention any of Vox Machina or Mighty Nein or any of them. But I would say the vast majority of where their money is going to come from. Hell, people gave them $11 million to make a animated series based on it, so they'd be dumb to not exclude it. But personally, I would like just something new in there. I think there's a lot to be tapped there. I used it, and I know somebody smarter than me can use it for a video game. So, yeah. And I even took part of the things that he made and created my own stuff from it. So maybe you give it to a video game character and they interpolate something different than what was originally thought and improve upon it. It's as good of a storyteller as Matt Mercer is. He's not the be-all, end-all of storytelling. So if those of you Critical Role fans out there, video games coming soon. They may have already announced it. I couldn't find any news on it. So maybe it's coming next week or this week. But yeah. Very, very cool news because I do personally love I do love the world of Exandria. I think it is very, very well thought out and was the basis for a lot of the stories I told in Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, so that'll do it. Some house cleaning at the end. Let's go back to Big Mark for that. We will be back tonight with a Link to the Past randomizer. I'm probably not going to finish it. But we'll be taking suggestions, just talking about the whole Retro Roulette Endurance Run idea. I've done all platformers, I believe, for the playthrough. So maybe we switch it up. Maybe we go to another platformer. I do want to stay in the up to N64 PS1 sort of range. I don't want to go too far past that for my choice of games there. I would like actually to stay 64 NES, SNES, Genesis. I would love to just stick there for Retro Roulette endurance runs, but we'll discuss it. Game Boy's in there and Game Gear and stuff like that. Not that we would pick a Game Gear game, but all that era from like 90s, from 83 to 96 or whatever it is, would be games we would choose for. But yeah, tomorrow night or tonight, if you're listening to this or watching the YouTube video, we will just have a chat about it and just be very cash while I'm playing through some Link to the Past randomizer. I'll try to make it crazy, but not too crazy. Yeah, and then Thursday, we'll be back with some more Final Fantasy VI with Tom. Friday, it'll be Avowed. Saturday, it'll be Avowed and Tales, or Trails. And then Sunday, it'll be Avowed and News Hour. So, yeah, and then whole new game will get thrown into the mix. From the previews I've seen, I don't know if Adam Fall will stick more than just that Friday, but who knows? Maybe we'll start alternating between Adam Fall and Avowed, but I doubt it. It's going to have to be really good for me to do that. So, yeah. Thank you all for joining me again. I cannot believe it is already March 17th, and I think we're approaching episode 50. If not, almost. It'll be almost a year. I think we'll get to a year before I hit 52 episodes. Just because I think we took a week off or 2 weeks off at sometime during the last year. Just because as solo man here, if anything came up and stuff like that, or if I got sick, we didn't do it. But we're getting pretty close to 50, which means we're barreling in our year of me doing this stuff. So I am glad for those of you that come around and hang out. And we hope to see you on our other stuff. We have a Discord. I don't check it much, to be honest. But if you guys just want to start chatting in there, and maybe we can build that community. I'm going to try and be more diligent about it. I do check it every so often, but nobody really puts anything out in there outside of, if I set up an art channel, my niece would put art in there. But yeah, that's about it. So the big thing in the future is that we're going to be doing a lot more YouTube stuff. My Death Stranding 2 trailer reaction will be up today as well. It's probably already live. And that's what I meant. Night Duck is the only person that posts in there. So come join Night Duck and us in the Discord, everyone out there. I just got to be better about it. That's the thing. Is that I'm not really good about it, but I gotta start. I really gotta start. But yeah. So thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Bye.